openly taunted Captain Batra, saying that if India handed over Bollywood actress Madhuri Dixit, they would leave the place forever. To this, Captain Batra gave
I, Surendranath Pachari, aged 68, son of Srinivasulu Pachari and grandson of Rangasamy Pachari, the Salian descendants, offer yogic obeisance to Modi ji and his team of ministers and confidants. I offer yogic obeisance to Sonia ji, Rahul ji and their confidants. I offer yogic obeisance to all members of the parliament and the state assemblies. I respectfully call the supporters and the opponents to come to mutual understanding. In the selection of 15th President of India, so help us God in yoga. The opposition is the backbone in the India's democracy, and the ruling party is the mind, body and the soul in the democracy. It is prayerfully requested that the supporters and the opponents to exercise better understanding in self, to exercise better options and to exercise opulence than the occupation in the selection of 15th President of India. So help me God in yoga. I respectfully submit that divided polity is the yogic essence of bicameral legislature, and it has now become necessary to forget the division towards unified selection of meaningful 15th President of India to the admiration of the great powers and great leaders in this world. So help me God in yoga. Just because a group of elected members occupy the opposition side in the parliament, that group should exercise humility and compromise in the selection of 15th President of India. I prayerfully submit that every leader is a great leader, whether he sits as a ruling party or whether he sits in the opposition party in the parliament. The supporters and the opponents should rely more on the knowledge, value, truth and opulence as the best choice in the selection of 15th President of India. The learned leaders of the supporters and the opponents should consider the reason, truth, and that whether they are voted to power or whether they are not voted to power, the fact remains that they are the elected leaders in their own constituency. The great leader Indira Ji brought nationalization of banks in the year 1969 to bring financial discipline. Indira Gandhi was bent on abolishing privy purses in the year 1970 in the good interest to establish egalitarian society and to overcome poverty in India. This great leader again bent on state emergency for 21 months in the good interest to correct internal disturbances. And the great leader Indira Ji faced 10 no-confidence motions and came out successfully in the Lok Sabha. But in the year 1971, another great leader, Indira Gandhi, was brought to the court and was cross-examined in the election case in Allahabad court. And leader, Raj Narayan, brought Indira Gandhi's election as null and void.
With around 11 lakh soldiers and active service.
In the year 1974, the leader Jayaprakash Narayan called the students, peasants and labor organizations for a total revolution in Bihar. And this spread to states in North India. And later this resulted in the railway strike. The Railway Employees Union went on nationwide railway strike. And Indira Gandhi's government suppressed the strike by arresting thousands of railway employees. In the year 1977, the state of emergency came to an end and Janata government headed by Morarji Desai formed the government. Indira Gandhi was forced to sit in an opposition bench, but she never spoke ill of the accusations leveled by the then elected Janata leader headed by Morarji Desai. Again, it is India's misfortune that Indira ji was showered with 27 bullets in her chest on religious footage in Blue Star operations. The nation witnessed the bloody cremation of the great leader Indira ji. As the Bhagavad Gita tells me, Atachahayenam nityajatam nityam rutam vamanyase tadapitvam mahabhaho yenam sochitum na arhasi. I'll never be afraid of my death in the path of the democratic India. So help me God in yoga. And this may be the advice to all the leaders in Indian democracy. As the Holy Quran tells me, I will enter into absolute peace and I will not follow the footsteps of Satan. I understand that Satan is the outright enemy to the nation. And this may be taken as the advice to all members of the parliament and the state assemblies. As the Holy Bible tells me, I will be guileless like a dove among the weak, timid, sick and the downtrodden. And I will be as sharp as a serpent among the wolves. And this may also be taken as the advice to the members and great leaders of the Indian Parliament. In this present democratic scenario, bribery, black money and tax evasion, financial cybercrimes, cyber trafficking became the devil as Ravana. And it has now become the urgent and dire necessity to retrieve Sita from Ravana. As the Mahalakshmi and the Dhanalakshmi from the clutches of Ravana. It has become necessary to eradicate completely the bribery, black money and tax evasion, and to extinguish completely inactivity, indolence and instability from the minds of the teeming million youth force, and crush languor, lethargy and laziness from the minds of teeming million young ones. So help me God in yoga. The fact also remains that the President is merely the first-line administrative officer and maybe the chief executive who prepares, presents and monitors the money bill in the democratic India and who accepts the bills passed by the constituted parliament.
From thousands of entries all over India.
I am the honest taxpayer for more than 15 years at AKIPS 202B, AAFHP 0613P and AARFS 8506N.
From each of these three centers,
And I am the loyal central pensioner
find chosen ones.
I am a loyal citizen in this democratic India.
Tsunami.
I am a valuer, value planner, cost analyst, chartered engineer and yoga exponent. So I will maintain and cause to maintain utmost integrity and vigil in every activity of the nation that is expected from me as a meaningful President of India. That is expected from me as a first-line officer in India. So help me God in yoga. Jai Hind.
India's jungles. Get aircraft in unknown territories and learn to neutralize the enemy.